What's up, Journey? We're out here on Falls Lake, and of course last Sunday was Easter, and so today and next week we're doing Amazing Journeys Volume 1 and 2. Next week you're going to hear from me, and you're going to hear a little bit about my story, some things I've never shared before. But today we wanted you to hear from some people who are just like you, people that are facing difficulties in their life, or they're going through things, and I wanted you to hear some of their stories. And one of those people is Rob Ferguson. What's up, Rob?
What's up, Jimmy?
This is Rob's boat. And Rob, I know your story, but I don't think a lot of people at Journey know your story. You know, we look at your life now. You got a great wife, great son, Trey, and you got this boat. You're building a house. Everything's great in your life right now. But I know it hadn't always been like that. Talk a little bit about where God has brought you from, and maybe some of the previous mile markers on your journey. What did that look like?
Well, I accepted Christ into my life as a teenager, and came from a good family, and everything was fine. Can't say I had a lot of hardships going on, but my first job was in a restaurant and an officers club in Virginia Beach, and so as I continued to work and go through high school and college, I was exposed to alcohol and then more and more drugs. Thought it was okay, saw a lot of other people doing that, and socially kind of conditioned myself to be addicted to drugs.
Wow. So in those early days, you knew who God was, you were exposed to God, but you got hooked up in some things that you shouldn't have got hooked up into.
Absolutely. You know, I got to a point where I was physically, emotionally, and spiritually bankrupt. You know, it wasn't just you know, having a couple beers a night. It got to be worse than that. I mean, I had nothing.
Wow.
I lost just about everything, and like I said, physically, emotionally, and spiritually bankrupt.
Wow. So now you're obviously not at that place. How did you get from there to here? We're talking about journeys. Of course, we say at Journey Church that everybody's on a journey, but nobody's on the exact same spot at their journey. They're not at the same spot. How did you get from that mile marker that you just talked about to where you are right now?
Well, for me, God meant gift of desperation. You know, I had no concept of God. I literally, it used to be just the opposite. I was so full of pride. I was, you know, trying to accumulate all these material things, but yet they had no worth to me at all because I had this ego, and for me, ego meant easing God out.
Right.
And so now, you know, I accepted this gift of desperation. I got down on my knees and I asked for help.
Wow.
And help, part of asking for help was realizing that, you know, I had to get some direction, and I found that in a 12-step program. So there's a lot to be said for a 12-step program.
Absolutely.
You know, for the one that I was a part of, it was divinely inspired. Truly, I mean, everything that it teaches is from the Book of Romans. So that's what I needed, is to get some strength from that, and then come back to the God of my own understanding. And today I am on a journey with Him. You know, and I'm plugged into Journey through a small group.
Yep.
And
you started coming to Journey Church in like January or something, right?
That's right. And my wife and young son and I have been a part of that, and it's just it's been amazing. We look forward to it. It's a highlight of our week. You know, work is work.
Yeah.
But Journey is we're growing in this relationship with God, and that's what it's about.
Man, that is so awesome. What would you say to somebody who's sitting here listening this morning to your story, your testimony of your journey, and maybe they're not hooked on drugs or alcohol, or maybe they are, but maybe their addiction is, you know, internet pornography or some sexual addiction or something like that. What would you say to the person this morning who is bound in that sin, and where they are in their journey right now is a place of addiction? What would you say to them?
Well, grace is defined as unwarranted divine assistance, and, you know, asking for help, we have to swallow a little pride, you know, but I can promise you, the life that I was living doesn't get any better if I go back to it. It only gets worse.
Yeah,
so, you know, moving forward, opening the door and asking for help is huge. And so, you know, come up to Jimmy or Beverly or somebody on the church staff. Me, you know, I'll be happy to share some of my experience.
Even if we can't help, we can point them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the things that I know, because you and I have talked a lot about this, I know there were times in your life where you were just desperate. You were just completely desperate. And you hear me say all the time, desperation leads to dependence. And I know this morning some people may be sitting here listening to your story, and they may just need to cry out, deliver me, you know, redeem me, rescue me for this. Sometimes you feel so helpless, right? I mean,
That's right.
You feel so helpless, like, I can't get out of this on my own. So God, you've got to do something for me. And so I just want to say to anybody this morning who's in one of those battles, and your place at your journey right now is a place of desperation, it's a place of despair. I just want to encourage you to throw your arms up to God, because I know you experienced this. I've experienced this in my life when I was at that place. Even though it wasn't drugs or alcohol, it was a place of desperation. I cried, I said, God, deliver me. And what did you feel? You felt the arms of God wrap around you, right?
Absolutely. And you know, it's nothing short of a miracle that God delivered me. But, you know, asking for His will, not mine, be done. That was crucial, you know, because He had taken me out of some situations, but truly to come into my life and to change me.
Yes.
Deliver me.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. Well, let's go ski a little bit.
All right,
I want to teach you a couple of things.
All right.
Whatever. All right.